There's a saying that goes, "Revenge is often the spark that lights the fire of war." That testament rings true in the video that you're about to watch. In this video, you will see the revenge that sparked the war between two separate groups on a Rust server. In this video, you will see my act of revenge on a toxic group that sparked a flurry of events. A flurry of events that led up to one singular moment. The moment when their walls came crashing down, and I wiped them from the server. Now, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, because this story is one that will go down in history. This story is the story of how revenge is a spark that lights the fire of war. Our Rust journey starts already a little bit into the wipe, because I forgot to press record. Okay, I was not recording, so that's great. So yeah, this is what I have right now, right here. I built close because I want to farm train yard, in Oxums. So by this point in the wipe, I had already established myself a little bit. I had a good base and some decent tools and weapons. I got base, or base. I have lots of bone frags, so we're fine there. Lots of cloth, plenty of stone, my upkeep is fine. So, I decided to go to train yard and see what my competition would be like there. Crate also gets dropped here, so let's... Did I hear somebody? Okay, that's some decent stuff. After I looted most of train yard, Chinook Kelly came over and spun a hackable crate, which I decided to take. A hackable crate is a special type of loot crate in Rust. You have to activate the hack, which takes 15 minutes to complete. This gives other people plenty of time to come and try and steal it from you. If you can defend it, you get lots of really good loot. Thankfully, however, nobody showed up to my hackable crate, so I guess that's a win for me. Now, I got some very good stuff from that hackable crate. Among the best were C4, a rocket launcher, a Thompson, and a supply signal. After I got home with all the loot, I decided that I would throw down the airdrop that I got. This held some pretty okay loot, but definitely not as good as the hackable crate. After that, I went outside, cut down a few trees, and then decided that I would log off for the night, feeling very accomplished for my first day of the wipe. Today was very peaceful, but tomorrow would be a whole different story. The next day after I logged on, I decided that I wanted to make a tier 1 workbench, so I could make a research table, so I could research the Thompson that I found. However, I didn't have enough metal frags, so I had to go out and get some. Fine, workbench. I need 100 metal frags, I have enough scrap, I just don't have metal frags. Okay, then I guess I won't be, I guess I'm going farming. However, before I could actually start finding any metal fragments, another hackable crate spawned at train yard, so I decided to see if I could get some loot from that instead. There was a problem though. I noticed that the hack had already been started, meaning that there was someone else already there. It's just been started. However, not one to back down from a fight. I got myself up somewhere high and used my binoculars that I had found in a crate to try and scout out where my enemy was. So they're going to go hide in there. Knowing that I would have to take that guy out, I went back to base to grab my shotgun. I figured that if I loaded it with slug shells, the most powerful shells, I would be able to easily take him out if I was able to sneak up on him. However, once over there, I realized that slugs were my most powerful shells, so I didn't want to waste them on some guy with a crossbow. I wanted to save them for somebody with a gun, so I decided to use buckshot instead. I'm not gonna bring slugs. I'm gonna bring... Yes. But this is Rust, so when I got back, there was another complication. A third person had shown up. A man in a hazmat suit with a gun. Oh. That's a different person, isn't it? That's a guy in a hazmat.
his revolver. Maybe Python?
So, I sat there, watching both of them. I figured that if they both engaged, one of them would win. So then I could sneak up while they were still on low health and finish them off and take the crate for myself. A little disrespectful, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're a solo.
Oh, are they about to fight? They are. Oh, what's gonna happen? Ooh. Oh, I think he just shot.
Oh, this was my chance. I had to go now before it was too late. So as the cover and darkness of night fell upon me, I snuck over to where he was staying and sat in silence, waiting to strike. Well, that was easy. Hey there, friend. So, I had done it. But my inventory is now full, so I had to go back to my base. After I had deposited all the loot, I went back to go claim my crate. But it was gone. Somebody else must have snuck in and took it while I was running my loot back to base. But that's okay. I still had some fun. I had some good PvP, and I still got some loot anyway. So it was a win in my book. After that whole debacle, I finally had enough metal fragments to make my tier 1 workbench. Immediately afterwards, I made a research bench so that I could research my Tommy gun. However, I did a big dumb. I put my tier 1 workbench where I was going to put my research bench. So now I have to wait until I have a tier 2 workbench. So then I can just break my tier 1 and put the tier 2 outside. So, that's exactly what I did. Cool. I farmed up enough scrap to research my Thompson, and then I logged off for the day. My goal for today was to build my second base. However, Rust had different plans for me. Alright gamers, we're back. I want to build our second base today. Where would I be putting my second base? Probably like around here. But I started getting bored, so I realized that I had to go find my purpose for this wipe. So I set out to do just that, with only a hammer. While running around, I came across a guy cutting down a tree with a metal hatchet. He was actually one of my neighbors. He lived right down the hill from me. Does he not? Not game something? Hello.
Hello.
How's it going? We are actually having a very nice conversation. Until this friend came outside and did something that upset me quite a bit. I need these. Hello. Ow. Why? I was being friendly. This was a power play. A pretty sad one, albeit. He was trying to insert his dominance over the server by killing fresh spawns. That was not gonna fly. I mean, I wanted to be friends. So, I did what any sensible person would do in that situation. I grabbed my Tommy gun and I sprayed them into the ground. I mean, I wanted to be friends. After thoroughly destroying their confidence of actually having some sort of success on the server, I decided to go back and try to talk. Maybe we could develop some sort of negotiations, maybe even be friends. But of course that didn't go to plan. So as you can see, that was the revenge that sparked the war between me and that group. All of my time on this wipe was dedicated to making sure that this group would be eliminated.